Hey class, let's talk about classes and IDs. So far you've been introduced some CSS. You know how to style something like a headline, right? So we would write H1 and then we put those curly brackets, and inside of those brackets is where we define the style itself. So let's say we want to change the font. Font family. Just gonna generic sans serif category. This is what's called the selector. It's the thing that selects what it is on the page that you want to have some visual effect upon. This right here, font family, is the property. Okay, that thing that you want to change, and then sans serif is that thing you wanted to change it to. So here is like find the headline on the page. We're going to change the font family, and we're going to change it to this. Selector, property, value. Okay. So again, if we wanted to change the paragraph, all this page has is a headline and a paragraph. It's pretty simple. No, that's not what I wanted. No. Let's see that. What do we do here? I don't know. That line length is horrendous. We're going to say contain yourself. Give it a width. Okay, that's better. Okay. Now, what we've done up until now is we've used tags. We've selected tags. We've used these selectors to target specific elements to HTML itself, which is great. Sometimes there's something on the page you just really need to target that one single thing individually. It's very special, and that's where classes and IDs come in, where we can actually create our own selectors to really fine-tune control. So over here I have it's just a simple list, and that I have styled so it looks kind of like a navigation. It's an unordered list. List style none means I took away the bullet point. And then I've got some other styles in here just to be extra fancy. Color, a background, a border, margin, padding. Good stuff. Okay. Now let's say there's one thing on this list I want to stand out, and that's the sale down here. You want that to jump out at people. So I need to find a way to just target that one thing, not all of them, just that one. So I'm going to use what's called a class, and this is how the syntax goes. I'm going to type a period, which means, hey, this is a class selector, and then I'm going to give it a name. I'm just making this up. This did not exist in the world till I just typed it right now. And then curly brackets again, and then do the exact same thing you're familiar with doing. So I'm going to say, change the color of the font to tomato. Excellent. And nothing has happened so far because I've created this style, but I haven't assigned it to anything. I haven't told anyone, hey, you're in the class of promo. So I'm going to go up here to, here's the sale. It's an LI element, list item. So within the tag, so inside those carety brackets, right, we're going to add it. Whenever you add something to the interior of a tag, it's called an attribute. There's lots of different types of attributes, and we'll talk about later, but this one is a class attribute. We just create a class style. Now we're going to give it a class attribute. So give it a space and then say, hey, class, I want you to add this class. And then in quotation marks, we put the name of the class. Promo. Boom, look at that, look at that. That just, wow, don't you want to click on that? What's for sale? I just want to know so bad. So to review, like down here, we created a class called promo. And then up here, we added it to the sale list item. And we can add that anywhere. You know? There, locations is now a promo. That doesn't really make sense. We kind of just want one of them to pop, so I'm going to take that off. Great. So that's a class. Let's talk about IDs now. IDs work pretty much the same way, except they have a different syntax. Instead of a period, we start with a hashtag. So let's say on here, my home button, I really want that to be a major part of the site. I want it to be very clear. This is how you go back to the home. So I'm going to create a class. I'm going to create an ID called home. So hashtag home, same thing, and I'm going to change the background. And I'm going to say tomato. And again, nothing has changed because I haven't added that attribute to anything up above. So go over to the home and I'm going to go inside the list item tag, give it a space, ID equals home. Make sure it's exactly the same as you wrote it down here. It's very picky. There you go. There you go. A tomato button. Actually, allow me to be finicky here for a second. I want white text. That's good. I don't want a gray border. Border, color. Okay, that's better. That makes me happy. So they function really similar, right? So what's the difference? Why are there two of these? The difference is a class, for example, a promo, can be used many times on the page. It's a bit more generic. So imagine some splashy, an example would be like some splashy e-commerce site you've seen, and there's a promo in this section over here, the promo over here, and the promo over here. You can reuse that class over and over so there's consistency among them, and that's what classes are used for a lot. Whereas an ID is a very specific, only use it once kind of thing, okay? Only one thing is a home button. There's only one home button, okay? It's very special. So that's when you would use an ID for something that's only going to appear once on the page. It makes it more important, and we'll learn later why that's really useful. But for now, just remember IDs is something you're only going to use once. Like, for example, the logo inside the main header. It's only really going to be one of those. That would be a good example of an ID. Whereas a class you can use over and over again. So maybe you have a special style that you want all the buttons to look like. You're going to have a lot of buttons perhaps. So you would maybe make a class called button, and you could use that over and over and over again. So again, period to create a class, hashtag to create an ID, and then just don't forget, it's easy to forget, go up here and make sure the thing that you want to be a home button actually has the ID of home. That's that. I hope that makes sense, and I'll see you in class.